Hello, welcome to my first game of the Twilight Struggle Online World Cup 2022. I'm playing USSR against Wesoły Arek, Arkadiusz, Słowik. I believe I just got a chance to take a revenge over my lost game against the same opponent in the Polish league. This is not a very convincing hand, although it's quite good. 18 ops, but some of them are buried inside not so nice events for USA. So containment, the last one. Captured Nazi scientist, quite an obvious headline. Now it very much depends on whether he has Marshall Plan or not. If he activates NATO, this hand becomes quite an annoying one. Otherwise, free NATO, special relationship not boosted, so NORAD for space, US-Japan to be held or otherwise. And we are playing, and even if I'm red scared, this is not very painful, and it doesn't look like he has Marshall Plan. Okay, then 4-4-2. And let's see how it goes. Wow, I wonder what a crap does he have to give me Nasser like this. Okay, NATO, 50 chance of success against Italy, but I'd like to focus on Iran, mainly because failing this coup costs me much fewer. Would have been perfect against Italy. Oh well. I'm gonna take my time fighting for Europe. Now it's Middle Eastern time. Yes, this was quite an unexpected move. Now yeah, I think this is to be given. And I will take Syria just to have immediate domination and jump to Israel. Yeah, I could score here for 4 points, and now it's possible that I'm unable to do it. But in the long run, I feel that blackmailing Egypt is more important. And I can score it now. 6 is very nice. Now for the remaining of my hand. Doesn't look very convincing. I wonder what he's gonna do with the points. Thailand, okay, so he's very likely to have Asia. Or maybe just his building up his position in the region which offers him most. Now US-Japan Mutual Defense Pact looks unplayable. Yep, space to decoy. That's space NORAD, I don't need to activate it. This looks good for the beginning, but don't forget that Asia and Europe are the regions remaining. Well, whatever to say... Oh, I was very lucky with both wars. And whatever to say, 11 points at the of victory points after turn 1 is much more than I could have expected. Plus his failed coup. That sounds great. Well, okay then. Let's go all in. Let's go all in, because if he has the scoring, he's very close to automatic lose. And even if he does not, I am now dominating Asia, which is one of the regions to be scored, and I am leading by 11 victory points after turn 1. And yes, I must admit, his hand was quite a crippled one. Very red, very poor. But he had a Marshall Plan indeed. Could have saved him. Okay, defectors. Nasty card, CIA. And of course a lack of Red Scare is nasty. What else is nasty? That I don't have a good headline. I must say it. So blockade doesn't make sense. Warsaw Pact doesn't make much sense. De Gaulle, maybe this makes sense to disable his domination in Europe. But if he gives me Fidel, I'm gonna have to stuck with the CIA or give up France with the Gaulle gone. So I think I will headline defectors and get rid of CIA fast. Yes, this probably means I can't win so fast this game. Yeah, especially if I'm purged. But with such an advantage, I should take care of other things, like not losing the game on DEFCON, because yeah, I have a huge advantage, and even if he dominates Europe and scores +1, let's say, in Asia, because he really can't do more, I'm okay with this. This was failed. And of course, I'm gonna fight for these Asian points. The plan is to hold Indo-Paki, space US-Japan, and try to make Asia as worth as possible. Blockade, keep it for a long time, but eventually play it for ops. China card, hold if possible. De Gaulle, keep it for a long time. Yeah, now that Suez is gone. Of course, India first. Because if he takes India, my position in Asia is not so good any longer. Yeah, I could take India and Pakistan with the China card now, but I don't want to give up the China card because it's very unlikely for me to dominate Asia at all. He has too good country count, even if he triggers Vietnam revolts for me, it's very unlikely to actually work. Yeah, of course, Middle East is the price, but I think I can pay this price. Now let's make Asia +3 for me. Then the goal is gonna be used to equalize Middle East. Europe scoring very good, very good. I'm very glad to see it. I'm not sure about Indo-Pakistani war. It can give me 2 more victory points, attempting to be 4. The downside risk is that I may lose India, but this is 1/3 chance, provided he draws it. 2 Milops, provided he draws it. And it still doesn't give him domination in Asia, so it's only 2 victory points flip in Asia. I think it's worth playing, actually. So now what? Holding blockade or holding US-Japan? Holding blockade looks nice. Oh, no. Now domination in Asia is gone for me, and probably for him as well, unless he scores Indo-Paki twice. So let's space this one. 2 more. Great. And if I play blockade for ops, it may return later. So let's just fight for victory points. Nope, but I will gain 1 more instead of him. Not as bad as the outcome of a paired turn. And I keep having more VPs after each turn. Yeah, Vietnam revolts, unable to change anything in Asia, of course. But this is something I don't like. He's giving me 2 countries. If he goes to Angola, going to Zaire as well is a must. Okay. So, Asia scoring gives me 3, and isn't probably going to give anything else. UN intervention is great to get rid of the duck and cover, but first let's try to Red Scare him. Red Scare, Independent Reds and Marshall Plan are the returning cards, and he shouldn't be able to identify them. He should be able to identify all the other cards, so maybe he defects this Red Scare. This would hurt, but I don't really have any better headlines. So UN intervention for duck and cover, or maybe duck and cover for space race and UN intervention for Marshall Plan, but achieving space race so early. Olympic Games. Yeah, I could have headlined duck and cover and now won the game. Not so easily. Okay, let's get rid of this when it's completely free. Duck and cover for space race has a downside risk, of course. I think I'm gonna break West Germany and go to Zaire to be able to play Marshall Plan into France, because I don't want to space any card this turn, because there is no need to increase the downside risk of losing for DEFCON. What I'm thinking of is taking Japan with the China card. This would give me 2 more from Asia, but the downside risk of this is also not worth, I think. If he takes France, I'm quite okay with this. I'm just triggering Marshall Plan for him. And I accept the fact that I'm losing Europe. What about this Asia? Actually, now that I'm thinking of counting Asia, he doesn't have such a big advantage. And this combined with Milops is just enough to win the game. He's the one who can't afford spending too much points because he's perched. By the way, Truman Doctrine for the event was totally wasteful here. I know he knows about my blockade, but... and I know this 5-1 and 4-0 is a matter of access to France, but it certainly wasn't worth. He is going to need this threat over me. Kamikhan influence, breaking India. Yeah. So China 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I have over control in every country accessible by him in Asia. And he doesn't have a 5. So his best bet is to play a 4 to take Japan. After which he may just get rid of cards discardable to blockade. Oh well, I was also purged this game. Wesoły Arek means happy Arek, but I guess he's rather smutny Arek, sad Arek now. Indo-Pakistani war, literally the last thing that can save him, I guess. Or nuclear test ban or NATO to put influence in Taiwan and or Japan, actually US-Japan. He may also have it. Nuclear test ban. Okay, so this game is gonna last for a little longer because I'm only earning 2 now. And I gave up the China card. Still, I don't feel it was wasteful. This is nice, because he gets Venezuela, but I am going to use blockade red scar combo. I didn't see distal. And yeah, Fido. Okay, 16. Ooh, we will bury you, and Missile Envy in my hand, and ABM Treaty in my hand, so I just think this game might have gone in a way he couldn't really stop. Yeah, I will bury you. Summit for the headline. And USA wins. Okay, so this is gonna last for a while longer. He kept DEFCON where it was. Now the funny thing I could do, but I'm not gonna, of course, would be to salt negotiate nuclear test ban to gain extra victory point. I would do this if this gave me an instant victory, but after his victorious summit it doesn't. So let's just grab Venezuela here. I don't really have good cards to play for ops. Perhaps Missile Envy, because it's not worth downside risk of DEFCON suicide. On the other hand, he can't really have anything harmful for me, can he? Five-year plan and bird trap. I think bird trap is gonna be held and 5-year plan is gonna be spaced. And the reason behind is that if I space and succeed, I can no longer space 2 ops cards. So bird trap is the way to get rid of them. If I draw if I draw, for example, grain sales to Soviets. So far, let's threaten something. Yeah, I'm giving him military operations, but I want to make good use of Che. I'm dominating Europe, it won't take long, of course. Of course, if I play salt negotiations, I may hold both 5-year plan and bear trap, and this may be the right call. Just maybe. Okay, so far so good. Just brush war, insurance. I admit I'm very lucky this game. Is 5-year plan worth holding? It could be against Europe. It's probably not, taking into account DEFCON risk. I think, however, it's worth playing salt negotiations as a last card. To increase DEFCON and force him to coup something. Africa scoring gave me another 4. This was unlucky for him, really. Every remaining scoring except European one now gives me the victory. Okay, so let's space 5-year plan with success, so I may need bear trap, really. Decall is actually not a very important card now. What is an important card now? Point givers would be. But yeah, if there was OPEC, it would be great to pull it. There isn't. So I'm thinking about ABM Treaty, always useful, Red Scare Purge, always useful, and socialist governments, which can help me in the only region which may work as a source of victory points for him. But I think the best I can do is to recover Red Scare Purge and to increase DEFCON, forcing him to coup now, because otherwise he's gonna lose on DEFCON. He's coughing with Portuguese Empire crumbles, failing but meeting DEFCON requirements, yeah. And now I see his headline. And that's the hand I don't like. But with Red Scare Purge, I shouldn't really be worried about it. Junta. So, maybe what I should play here is Cuban Missile Crisis, and I will Red Scare him later. What about that? Now, if he coups, let him have only 1 point from junta and be able to recoup whatever he coups. If he doesn't, I can CMC him later. Or just build up my position, basing on the goal against France. Let's counter coup here. Okay. Yeah, he rolled a 6. So against France I have to go. Against some other places I have, for example, a China card. I don't need to resolve Romania now. I don't need to hurry, sorry, with kitchen debates. Panama Canal returned is a little annoying because it gives him Panama and maybe Central American domination. Armen in Tehran is very easy to... Okay, he got this one. It's very easy to pair. This scoring will end the game. Maybe I could have spaced bird trap earlier, but it's not so necessary. Let's inactivate this. If possible, of course, I would like to hold on bird trap and the China card. So much about holding on the China card. Okay. Actually, I should have put this point in Lebanon. Well, easy to say after I failed. But it's a presence in the Middle East. And it's worth remembering that the game isn't won yet. Yeah, flower power. Making immediate use of my previous, yeah, let's call it blunder as it deserves. Okay then. I didn't want to do it, but I was forced to some extent. South America or Middle East scoring. Now the important cards. He's still sitting on the distal. Oh, this worked. How nice. I'm holding on the goal because if he has Europe scoring, I want to play the goal in my AR7 because he can't take France and score Europe in a single action round. And he's doing very well as for the bad luck he had, I must say. And I must remember that the game hasn't been won by me yet. After all, I once met him. This was the Polish League. I thought then that I was going to win the game. And this is the goal time. And I lost. And my thought about winning the game was based only on the fact that he was a beginner. Distal and failed, so he's under quagmire. And he had failed. And I have so many cards I need to win this game that I think it's just simply game over. Because Liberation Theology followed by Central America scoring followed by OPEC. Central America gives me 5. This would be 2 more, but I don't need 2 more. I need Central America scoring, followed by OPEC. Chapeau bas for him for making it up to turn 6 with such a bad luck. Thank you for watching and see you next time.